Hey Taurus, welcome to my channel. This is Venus Baby Tarot, and today I'm just going to give you a daily message and see what Spirit has in store for you. I'm going to use the same decks that I used for the previous reading because I don't know, they just felt right. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Taurus, what messages do you have for Taurus? Oh wow, that just went all the way over there. So you have teeth. Yeah, I don't know why, but I got this, whatever the situation is for you, it's been like pulling teeth. It's been painful. But look, you got stability and security. So it's been painful, but it will be rewarding. Okay, in the end, it's going to be rewarding. That's the thing about the most challenging situations that we experience. They are typically very rewarding in the end. In the end. All right, what other messages do you have for Taurus? You have up. Look, you can only go up from here, Taurus. You can only go up from here. Just remember, you can only go up from here. You have innocence, and then you have commitment on the bottom of the deck there. Let's see what else we have. You have the Sage. The Sage comes out for you guys like so much. I mean, there's like 120 cards in this deck, and the Sage is always coming out for Taurus. Like, it really does kind of blow me away. Heaven and Earth. The Ace of Wands was poking out of the deck, so I felt like I needed to take it, but the Two of Wands is over here on the bottom of the deck, so I'm gonna just keep that over there. The song by Britney Spears, what is it? Like Heaven on Earth, that song just started playing in my head, so I'm gonna shuffle these and pull from the top. It's like your skin, your lips, your smile, or something like that. Your heaven on earth. So, I mean, you could honestly feel like that about somebody. Yeah. So, let's see here. You got the Death card, Scorpio energy. You have the Three of Swords. You have the High Priestess. You have the Empress, the Page of Wands, the Nine of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So. The Three of Swords in the center of your reading, not exactly my favorite. But I think that, what I'm seeing here for you is, like, you have the Death card in your recent past. And, with the Sage and the Empress, I feel like this is finding a new way, finding a different solution, like changing the game, but it's been like pulling teeth. It has been, I think that with you, Taurus, you may have been very like resistant, maybe even a little stubborn to certain changes, and maybe needing things to be just so, like a certain way, because that was most comfortable for you. Like, it could be your routine, it could be the structure in which you have built your life upon or around. And, any adjustments to that could be a little bit of a shock to you. I mean, Tauruses don't typically like change because we are, fixed earth. And so we like things to be very stable. We're like a tree, right? We like to be very stable. Trees obviously do not like to be uprooted. I mean, and so I think that you could have kind of dug your hooves in a little bit and been a little stubborn and resistant to certain changes in your life. Because I feel like maybe you had a specific plan for yourself and how you were going to do things and what the next like month or couple of months were going to look like for yourself. And then you recently had some shifts and changes that have occurred in your environment. And now you're having to, come back to basics, refocus your energy, back to the drawing board to try to figure out, how to move with this change in your life, these shifts. Okay. And I feel like, with the Sage here, for me, I'm getting like this owl right here. Like, obviously the Sage has a lot of wisdom, has a lot of experience, But the way that I see this now, like I think of the sage kind of like a cross between the magician and the hermit. And I was really thinking about the hermit the other day, and I was thinking about how, you know, the hermit can definitely signify wisdom. But if you'll notice, like in the deck or in the traditional Rider-Waite, like the hermit is going on a journey with the light in front of him. And so that means that it's uncharted territory. It is an area of life that he knows nothing about. He knows nothing about. He is literally leaning on blind faith. You know, he's in the dark. He has no idea what's in front of him. It's just blind faith. Like all the wisdom and all the knowledge in the world doesn't even matter because he doesn't know what's in front of him. But he is choosing to have faith that that light in front of him is going to keep shining and it's going to lead him there. And that's what I feel for you, Taurus. Like I feel that energy of you don't know what's in front of you. Okay, and you've learned a lot about a certain area of your life, and you're really established this area of your life. Like you are skilled, you are structured, you have your routine down, you have your way of how things go. Okay, but now things are really shifting for you. They're really changing for you. And I think that there's just this sort of like newfound reliance on something so much bigger than you. Like you're looking up. Like the only place left to look is up. I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced this before. Like this is typically associated with the dark night of the soul. Like whenever you hit a point in your life, like it could be after the death of somebody, like you hit a point in your life where you kind of reach this existential crisis, you know, and suddenly like you are flooded with all of these memories of all these experiences, and you have all this awareness of these patterns and these painful things that have happened to you, and you start to see like how everything threaded together, and you know, you just feel so defeated and so worn out, and the only place to really look is up. You know, have you guys ever experienced that before? Where, you know, you have your friends, you have your family, you have your people, but you just don't feel like they understand. You don't feel like there's really anybody that you can talk to about this, or that anybody that you can lean on. And you know that you've reached a point where you've tried to do everything on your own, and now you're just defeated. And the only place to look is up. It's a spiritual experience. You know, whenever you reach out and you connect with God, spirit, the divine, your higher power, the universe, whatever you call it. This is a safe space. I totally support you believing whatever you believe. Okay. But anyway, so yeah, but you know, that experience that spiritual experience where you just really connect to whatever that is that you call it. And you live your life. You start to just move on blind freaking faith that the universe, spirit, God is going to, the divine, your ancestors, your higher power, your spirit guides, whatever, are going to guide the way for you, and you are going to end up planted exactly where you're supposed to be. That was a lot, right? And I feel like wherever this is, that spirit is leading you, is helping you move more into this divine, powerful energy of yourself even. And I'm getting like feminine energy, obviously, with the Empress. But I'm also feeling a little bit more like, I mean, you know how she's kind of patiently awaiting her abundance. All this beauty is just flourishing around her, right? This is that point, that death card, that point of transition where you're in that oh my gosh, why can't I think of the word right now? The butterfly, the cocoon. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Yeah, the cocoon. You're in that cocoon. And you've just been broken down to literal goo, okay? And then you re-emerge. Like, you emerge, right, as something new. Look at the wings. Look at her pregnant belly. Like, you emerge, and then all this blossoming and blooming and growing and expanding, right? And it does seem to be based off of your reliance, not just on your wisdom, but on like blind faith, you know, because I think that how you've been doing something has been like pulling teeth. It has been a challenge, and something has needed to shift, because I feel like you were maybe digging your hooves in and trying to just stay in this way, like this way is the way. And this is how it works, and this is how I'm gonna keep doing it, right? But I feel like the universe has been kind of nudging you, like, actually no, like we're trying to show you a better way, like listen, right? And so I do get the sense that you lean into that because you look up, right? And that is when I feel like you have this, like, you feel reinvigorated. You have all this inspiration, that Ace of Wands, and it's a new path for yourself, you know. And we always talk about how I view the Two of Wands every time. It's the new path for yourself. It is the uncharted territory. You don't know what's in front of you, but you are being led by spirit. And not only are you being led by spirit, you are leaning in to spirit. And that's the thing, is that, you know, I hear a lot of people talk about that, like my ancestors and guides and that, and they're protecting me and they're guiding me and stuff like that. And I often ask the question, are you letting them? Like, are you allowing them to? Are you, you know, stubbornly insisting on doing things your way and only your way? Because, you know, when we lean on self-will, okay, sometimes we can make a mess of things. You know, we all have free will, and sometimes we can choose a different path for ourselves because it's more familiar, it's more comfortable, or it's what we know, and it's not the path that we're actually supposed to be on. That doesn't mean that the universe isn't going to keep trying to course correct you. It will consistently happen, like throughout your life. The universe will try to course correct you, or God Spirit will try to course correct you, and you can resist because you have free will, and you can resist and you can resist and you can resist, and then repeat these lessons in the next life. Or you learn to lean in. And usually, as humans, we do not learn to lean in until we are defeated. Until we've been broken down into literal goo, you know? And then we hit our knees and we're desperate. Like, we're desperate for a new way. That's when we start looking up, right? Very spiritual experience that I am seeing here for you. Because I am feeling like with this Three of Swords, like, I feel like that's heartbreak, right? But I also feel it as like, I also see it as feeling separate from, okay? Like, separate from, like, you're hurting, you know, and you feel like isolated, you feel alone, like you feel like this is just not something that you can talk to about people. Like, this person has their back turned to this individual. Like, you just feel like you're not seen, you're not understood, you're not heard. And because of that, you felt very alone. And it honestly could be because the responses that you get from people whenever you do address your struggle can be very negative, and they can be very cutting, and they can hurt you. Okay, and then you just even more so feel like, why did I even talk to you about this? Like, you're not hearing me, like, you don't understand me, you don't understand my position, right? And the reality is that there are just some people that we just cannot talk to about certain things, like, because they'll never understand. They have their own perspective of reality, and they'll never understand why you see things or do things a certain way, okay? And I do get the sense that, I mean, for some of you, it has to do with your career and money, but it could also be in a relationship, your stability in life, that kind of thing. But I feel like, you know, like I said, you've been feeling very alone. You could honestly have been watching other people doing well in their life, and you're like, well, why are they doing so great? And I'm not. Like, I work my butt off. Like, I do this, that, and whatever, and I don't seem to be getting to where I want to go in life. And I think that, honestly, the universe could be nudging you just a little bit. Like, maybe there's a shift that is needed. You know, maybe it's time to really just start leaning on that blind faith. Yes, you're smart, you're intelligent, you're capable, you have all this resiliency, Taurus, all this perseverance and determination. You're a boss. You know, I think you're a boss. Like, 100%. Like, absolutely, I know that when a Taurus sets their mind to something, like, it's gonna freaking happen. Period, end of story, right? But I think that in this instance, you don't have to prove that anymore. Like, you don't have to prove that to anybody because it's been proven. And now, like, leaning on that blind faith and not leaning into your pride, like leaning on the blind faith and having that humility to be shown a different way is, I feel like, going to be a more important path for you at this time, because I'm looking at this innocence card. And the innocence can represent the Fool, but it can also represent that purest form of yourself. Like, think about when you were a child and think about how, you had more hope. You had more faith in life. Remember, like, how easy it was to dream when you were a kid? And because you didn't see the barriers. You didn't have all of this knowledge of an experience in regards to how society works, like how much you really get paid, how much it costs to live. Like, you don't have all of that awareness as a child. You just dream, right? And I feel like what happened, okay, was the more that you learned, the more closed in you became. And now I feel like you're kind of leaving behind everything that you know, everything that you've learned, everything that you understand, and you're starting to lean more on the possible. Like, what about the possibilities that I have not yet seen? Because when we think of it from our limited mind, okay, and our mind, our perspective can be quite limited in comparison to the expansiveness of the universe. Like, there are infinite possibilities. But whenever we have lived a certain way and we've lived our life and we've paid our bills and we've worked and, we've had to establish things a certain way, our minds start to perceive that is how you do things, that is the way of things, etc., etc., etc. And because of that, we don't see the infinite possibilities, right? And I feel like you have learned what you need to learn. You've seen what you need to see in this area of your life. And now I feel that it is time for you, and that you will be with this I feel like with this Page of Wands, and that's heaven and earth, like you will be. And that you will be leaning more into the expansiveness of the universe, opening your mind, seeing more possibilities, seeing the hope, seeing the faith, seeing that the universe creates miracles every single day, okay? And if Spirit God can work miracles in other people's lives, Spirit God can work miracles in yours, right? And see, I feel like as we move over here, because there is a new fire that is lit within you, look, okay? Like, you're starting to feel more alive, more inspired. You're starting to feel more in connection. You're feeling that vitality, okay? You're feeling vitality. And in your near future, you have the heaven and earth. See how you've balanced that part of yourself. You're connected. You're here on earth, but you are connected to the universe. You are connected to heaven. You are connected to spirit. You're connected to your spirit guides because you have that high priestess. You're connected to God. Okay? And I feel like, or spirit. And because of that, I feel like that it is giving you the power. Like, it is giving you the power to stand up one more time, no matter what has happened in the past. And I love this Nine of Wands, because, yeah, she looks a little tattered, a little bruised and that kind of thing. But man, is she empowered. Man, is she ready. Like, normally with the Nine of Wands, the person looks like they're about to fall over. You know what I mean? But she's got this arrow that's like bow and arrow that are flames, right? Like, look, the flame. To me, this is, you have the energy, you have the vitality to be able to stand up, because you are being given that energy from spirit. You are being given that direction, that motivation, that desire from spirit, and it is helping you to go down a path that, like I said, it's not your normal thing. It's not your normal thing, right? And I think that a little bit that, in order for us to make changes in our life, and this is why the butterfly is like literally the perfect example. In order for the caterpillar to make a change, in its life, it has to be broken down, like these two, the Three of Swords, the Death card, like just broken down, right? And then emerges, right? And so it is the perfect symbolism for you. And that's kind of what I've been feeling like. In order for you to emerge as this innocence, you sort of had to be broken down. You had to get to a point where you were defeated. You had to get to a point where you're like, I'm just done. Like, I am cooked. Like, stick a fork in me. I am freaking done, you know? And that, I feel like, has been where you've been at, you know? And you're no longer leaning on trying to find the answers with your own mind. You know, like, you're done. You're done with that way. Like, you're not going to try to figure this out anymore. I get the sense that you're leaning more on spirit. Like, just show me. I'm here. I'm waiting. I'm ready. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just show me the way, right? And it's like, as soon as you do that, man, you got this fire in you. Like, you're ready. Like, you're fierce. Like, you're determined. You're motivated, you know? You're powerful. Like, it's truly gorgeous. And it's so weird because it's like how I always talk about how, like, we'll stay with what we think is comfortable because it's familiar, but it actually becomes uncomfortable because it's miserable, because we get sick and tired of doing the same old thing over and over and over again. We're defeated, you know, life is just monotonous, like, it's just exhausting, etc., etc. And then we go down a different path. And like, that's the very thing that's going to bring us the comfort that we actually seek, right? And that's why you have that Queen of Pentacles there. Like, you know, she is very concerned with, you know, making things very comfortable, stable, secure, you know, like a comfortable home life, you know, a comfortable lifestyle, you know, in terms of finances and things like that. So also, I noticed over here you have commitment on the bottom of the deck. So, with caretaker. So that's interesting. So you could be making a commitment to being a caretaker or something like that. But anyway, I feel like there could also be, it's weird to me, like, how this kind of shifted a little bit. So, like, if your resistance has been in terms of relationships and commitments, I feel like the choice that you make, the new path towards commitment, could actually be, you know, like, spirit-led, that is going to be the thing that is going to revitalize you, and you're going to feel all of this passion and desire and energy. But that just seemed to be a separate message that just came to me out of the corner of my eye. But anyway, yeah, but it also, I feel like, could be about committing yourself to something wholeheartedly, even if it is a new experience and one in which you are just a newbie. You're a newbie at it with that innocence, right? I mean, have the courage to suck at something new, Taurus. Like, I always tell everybody that. You know, you don't have to do it perfect the first time. But anyway, so let's get your closing oracle message, my lovely Taurians. I forgot to say, I think at the beginning, if you're looking for a personal session with me, you can book on my scheduler in the description box below. And if you like my content, I hope you like and subscribe. So let's go ahead and get your closing oracle message, Taurus. Abundance. The abundance you seek is just around the mend. Meditation, that is that connection with source, with spirit, God, divine, etc., etc., etc. You know, that I feel like is leading you to this abundance. And joy, I knew joy was going to come out. And then the planetary cycles is the alignment. Like, you're realigning yourself. You're aligning yourself with spirit. Here on earth, you are aligning yourself with spirit. I wanted to say something really fast. So I know that everybody watches tarot for different reasons. And so whenever us tarot readers say that there is more abundance, okay, that's coming into your life, that doesn't mean that you're going to become a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, whatever. Some of you could. That's definitely the case. But since it's a general reading, it could literally just mean that, like, you got a little extra money on your paycheck. Like, you get a job that's paying a little better. You know what I mean? Like, so I always try to tell people, to kind of take it a little bit with a grain of salt and understand that everybody's experience is going to be a little bit different. But there is more abundance. There is more to be joyful about. There is more alignment for you. It's just going to look a little bit different. Not everybody here is going to win the lottery, Some people will find love, but it may not be love that'll last for the rest of their lives. Some other people will find love and it will. You know what I mean? Like, it's a general reading. In order to get a more specific story of your life, it's always better to have personal sessions. But anyway, I feel like that needed to be said for some reason. But meditation's been coming out a lot for Taurus, like, prayer and meditation, just getting quiet, really connecting with your higher power. The answers will come. The answers will be, like, totally obvious. And I always say that, like, when I'm in prayer, like, please show me the way, like, I'll just say, show me the way, and in a completely clear and concise way that I could not possibly misinterpret. You know what I mean? Like, make it totally obvious, Spirit, right? And I will say that. I will actually ask for that, so that whenever something shows up in my life, that high priestess right here, I see it clear as day. Like, I know this is the path. Like, 100% this is where Spirit is leading me. Okay? So anyway, that is what's going to bring you this so much joy, so much fulfillment, just feeling lit up, solar plexus totally lit up, feeling more confident, feeling more self-assured, okay, feeling brand new, feeling like you're just in a much more trusting place in your life where you have a lot more hope and a lot more faith, and you feel like you can really dream again, because I feel like you'll be shedding all those barriers that we've built that restrict our mind and make us sort of look at our situation in life like through, what is it, like a pigeonhole, like you see such a limited you have such a limited perspective of your situation, right? But whenever you're connected to the expansiveness of the universe, the limitlessness and all of the infinite potential, you start to really see that there is so much more than you could possibly imagine that's available to you in this life, in this universe. You just have to expand your mind a little bit. And I think that that's why that meditation is there, in helping to expand your mind. So anyway, that's what I have for you. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.